What's up, Lego builders? Welcome back to Coconut Brick Studios. Who doesn't love a good old clone battle pack? Unless it's this one, of course. Ever since 2005, when the first one was released, battle packs have made clone army building possible to just about anyone. And over the years, they've spawned massive clone armies, battles, and kickstarted the golden era of clone-based builds. Unfortunately, Lego stepped away from this type of set, and for many years, we got nothing.
And here we go. I hope you're hungry. For nothing.
There was a glimmer of hope with the 2020 501st Battle Pack and the Clone Accessory Pack that we got last year, but those weren't true battle packs. And then this year, like the Return of the Mighty Eagles at the Gates of Mordor, we got a true battle pack. It does have the controversial new printing and helmet holes, but I'm not here to discuss that. Today, I'm showing you 7 epic battle packs I created that Lego could build next. Since, I'm sure Lego follows this YouTube channel for ideas for future sets. But if you like battle packs and you want more, don't forget to execute Order 66 on that like button, and let's get started. I want to talk about everybody's dream battle pack first, the Gungan Warrior Pack. Wait, what? Oh, wrong script. First up is a simple Phase 2 Clone Trooper Battle Pack. It's basically the same as that glorious clone battle pack we got back in 2008. I thought it would be cool to have this one mirror that 2008 one, since they were both the first of their kind as a true plain white clone army builder pack. This would come with 2 grunts, a gunner, and a 3rd grunt with a comma and waist cape, making him a ranked clone. The build would be an ATRT walker, obviously not actually this size, as Lego would want to do one of their oversized behemoths of an ATRT. This would be such a great army builder, filling out your basic clone army positions, the 2 grunts to do the dirty work, a gunner to man your vehicles and large guns, and then an unnamed rank clone to lead the troops. And you could collect as many of these as you wanted without building up a useless army of named characters, like Ki-Adi-Mundi, for example.
200,000 units are ready, with 1 million more well on the way.
Since it only comes with one small build and the clone printing is all pretty simple, I would price this at around $18 US. I almost don't want Lego to make this one because it would literally bankrupt me. Next up is another obvious choice, especially in light of recent shows, a Shock Trooper Battle Pack. Shock Troopers are basically the military police stationed on Coruscant during the Clone Wars. Their vibrant red armor makes them stand out in pretty much any kind of a crowd, and this set would come with 4 regular Shock Troopers, a crowd control barricade, and an ATRT fitted with a stun cannon for crowd control. I thought about doing 3 regulars and maybe an officer or something, but the officer looks pretty much the same as the regs, and it doesn't seem like there's a ton of variation in the different Shock Trooper ranks, as they all pretty much have the same job. And I'm sure someone's gonna roast me for saying that in the comments and point out some obscure Shock Trooper variant. The ATRT is the same model as the previous one, and Lego is sure to do another big boy of a walker because that makes for a better playset, I guess. But they have done pretty small walkers before, so maybe they could bring them back for this battle pack. Plus, a smaller one would help keep the piece count and price low. Speaking of price, I would probably put this one at around $20, since the Shock Troopers have a lot more printing, and there's another small build besides the walker. For this next one, I'm gonna step away from the more obvious ones and explore a 442nd Siege Battalion battle pack. Lego only made one 442nd clone back in like 2005 something, so this would be a very fresh and new battle pack. It comes with 2 442nd grunts, a heavy trooper, and 1 arc trooper. This is definitely the most diverse battle pack so far minifig wise, so there'd be a lot of different scenes and mocks to make with different kinds of clones. The builds would be a small artillery cannon like what we saw in the recent 501st battle pack, and I also threw in a mortar and some shells. I picked these long range weapons since they would be used by a siege battalion for attacking fortifications and cities from a distance. The green of the 442nd makes for a really unique color scheme for mocks instead of your plain whites or reds. I used a bunch of 442nd clones in my last large scale mock, and it was cool to be able to use clones you don't see in mocks very often. Once again, we'd have more printing and 2 builds, so I'd price this at around $18 to $20 US. Next is a battle pack with another rare group of clones, the 104th Wolf Pack. Led by Wolf and Jedi Master Plo Koon, these guys are a great addition to any mocker army. This battle pack would include 3 grunts and 1 officer with a waist cape. Of all the prints I've sewn so far, these would probably be the most unique, with the little wolf head on each of the helmets. Fun fact, they got their nickname Wolfpack from alien species like the Anuba, which resembles a wolf. But then I wonder why their name wouldn't just be Anuba Pack or something like that. Anyways, Wolfpack has always seemed very fast and mobile to me, so the build is going to be a small hover tank with room for 1 driver and a gunner on the rear to provide infantry support where larger vehicles are unable to go. Minus the helmet, the rest of the printing is pretty simple, plus only only one side build of around 50 pieces would put this set at approximately $18 US. I added sand blue highlights to the tank as an homage to the old P1 Wolfpack clone troopers. I wish LEGO had stuck with that color scheme instead of changing it to dark gray, because sand blue is a color you don't see very often in LEGO Star Wars. This might be the most unknown battle pack I showcase in this video, but the next one is the 91st Recon Battle Pack. I've only recently become a fan of these guys, and they are super underrated. For anyone unfamiliar, they acted as snipers, scouts, and other recon units, so I like to think of them as very light, very mobile attack and recon units. So in that line of thinking, I picked 2 grunts, a BARC trooper who specializes in riding speeders. Unfortunately, I don't have a 91st BARC, but it would probably look pretty similar to the Commander Neo minifig LEGO made back in 2014, and 1 sniper clone. I don't have a 91st sniper either, so I had to sub in a regular grunt. For the vehicle, I went with a swamp speeder. It's light, mobile, and can hold multiple clones, plus LEGO has already done a few models, so they'd have some good reference material to work off of. I would like to see LEGO and try and design a new gun mold for the sniper, but I would imagine it would probably just be one of their long rifles with a black candlestick on the end. For the price, I would say around $17 to $18 US. This battle pack features new clones that were first seen just last year. Nonetheless, they are very deserving of their own battle pack. The 187th battle pack, complete with 2 grunts, an airborne, and a Mace Windu fig to make sure no one is having a good time or enjoying themselves.
I'm sorry, citizen. These matters are for the council to discuss.
Just kidding, no named characters. It goes against the very nature of a battle pack. I would go with the same lineup as the goated 212th battle pack, 2 grunts and 2 airborne troopers, which would be real easy for LEGO to do since they have all of the prints and molds for both from the 4+ fighter tank they released last year. These guys are another great way to bring a unique color scheme to your LEGO MOCs. The deep purple will stand out on just about any place besides Felucia and give your gray and tan MOCs some much needed color. For the build, I included an ATRT. I don't have any dark purple parts, so pretend the red on the walker's just purple. The debut for these clones last year was a real surprise for me. It seems like LEGO likes to stick to pretty well-known Star Wars minifigs and ships, so this and the recent 501st Specialist pack are a very good sign in my opinion that LEGO is broadening their knowledge of Star Wars and what they can potentially make. The final battle pack is going to step away from the traditional single battalion focus and give us a broad range of units. I call it the Specialist battle pack. It comes with 1 ARC trooper, 1 medic. This is a custom one I made a long time ago, and yes, I sinned worse than using Sharpie and used thick red paint to make the markings, which did not apply well at all. At least I didn't shave the helmet fin off.
What have I done?
To cap off the minifigs, I included 2 generic commandos. Just ignore the fact that these are actually Imperial based. How cool would this be though? With the increased use of commandos in the Bad Batch TV show, I think a lot of people would be interested in adding some Republic commandos to their clone armies. This would also be a great way to include a lot of units we might not see released in any other sets. Plus, there isn't much of a need to army build these units, so it might be easier for everyone to get their hands on a couple as there would be less hoarding. The build is nothing special, just a generic command post, since these units would be more likely to be around bases and command stations than your average grunt. I also threw in a couple of crates of supplies for the medics. And with the release of this one, there would no longer be a need to desecrate minifigs with paint and Sharpie to create medics. With all the rumored Clone Wars sets coming out, it makes me excited and hopeful that we will see more Clone Trooper battle packs being released and become a mainstay in the LEGO Star Wars set waves once again like they were back in the good old days. I think the more LEGO releases Clone Wars sets, the more they're going to see how big of a demand there is and give us even more. Even though I'm not a fan of the new print style, which will most likely be in all new battle packs moving forward, I'd still be happy to see more battle packs being released, as I think it would really help revitalize the LEGO Star Wars line and get a lot more people excited or re-excited about Clone Wars and Clone Wars content and MOCs. Let me know in the comments which of these battle packs you would like to see most, as well as what battle pack you would like to see LEGO make, and I will catch you in the next video, but until then, happy building.